practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
It is 8 o'clock right now on Primetime. We take a closer look at the weeks leading up to the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, including two situations involving the father and son charged in his Glynn County murder.
Plus, people are paying more for groceries than they have in decades. What's behind the price hike and when we could see them fall again?
Officers come together to make sure a World War II veteran, World War II, can celebrate a major milestone. But first, welcome, as we have some welcome news for parents wondering what to do with their kids over the summer. Others not feeling so sure about the fact that summer camps will be allowed to start opening tomorrow.
Yeah, the governor easing the restrictions, but there are a lot of rules that will still have to be followed. 11Alive's Doug Richards explains.
Well, let's just say that some parents who have had their kids home from school since March are a little pumped to be able to have the opportunity to get them out of the house and into a summer camp.
I think it would be beneficial to all of us to have a little break from one another.
Mary Beth Martin's school-age children will go to camp this summer, but camp will have new rules imposed by the state of Georgia. There's a list of 32 new requirements for day camps accepting children. It requires children and workers to be checked for fever and other COVID-19 symptoms each day, with parents remaining in vehicles at check-in. Campers get squirted with hand sanitizer upon drop-off. The rules allow groups of up to 20 adults and children with no social distancing requirement, keeping those groups together for the duration of the camp with no mingling with other groups. The rules require masks for workers as appropriate and requires a quick exit of any sick camper or worker with no return for at least 10 days.
We're really pleased to be able to finally open up. We've been out of work since this pandemic began.
Amy Wilson runs a camp called Zone of Light in Northeast Atlanta. She's planning to exceed the governor's guidelines with smaller classes and enforced social distancing.
I am grateful to have the opportunity to make healthy choices.
They're going to be out playing in the creek anyway. So I say let them go be with other kids and let that be my decision.
We did talk off camera with one camp director who said that she expects to keep her camp closed this summer because she thinks it's just not safe enough yet.
So many parents rely on day camps most summers, but this isn't your average summer. We see opinions are divided when it comes to the governor's decisions. Hundreds of people have shared their thoughts on our 11Alive Facebook page, and we're asking you to weigh in right now on our 11Alive poll. You can do that over at 11alive.com/vote. Tanya's sharing her perspective. She says she won't be sending her kids to any summer camp, and she hopes everyone's child stays safe. But as for her and her family, she's going to wait a little bit longer. Cammie, on the other side, she says her child has already signed up for camp, and she says the sessions are booked. She says people are ready to go back to some kind of normal. There are so many things parents have to consider right now. Dr. Fauci testified to the Senate that doctors are still learning so much about this virus and how it impacts children. And today, the former FDA commissioner said there's no reason to think that this virus has no impact on children.
There was a perception that coronavirus was a largely benign affair in children. That's not the case. When you look at even the data in New York City, we had 300 hospitalizations of children under the age of 17 and 9 deaths. That's a lot. That's a lot of death and disease, even relative to what happens in with the flu season in New York State and New York City each year.
Doctors still say kids are among the many unknowns with this virus.
Tonight, temporary medical pods are being set up across the state. They are in place to treat COVID-19 patients. The first 4 locations are in the areas hardest hit, like Albany and Gainesville, where we just saw a hotspot emerge, Atlanta and Rome. Nick Sturdivant was there as Governor Kemp toured the new units at the Floyd Medical Center today.
Behind me is a temporary medical pod set up here at Floyd Medical Center in Rome that can house 20 beds to treat non-critical COVID-19 patients. And just in front of me, just feet away, is another temporary unit that can house 100 beds that is set up in the parking deck. Governor Kemp, along with the staff here and local leaders, toured both facilities. Back in early March, a 46-year-old woman who was being treated at Floyd Medical Center with flu-like symptoms tested positive for COVID-19. Because of that, 20 hospital employees who were exposed to the woman had to self-quarantine. At this morning's news conference, Kemp said these units are a great asset to Georgia to help patients and protect healthcare workers.
Really shows how forward-thinking that this group has been, and quite honestly, I think how forward-thinking our state has been in a lot of ways. Still very innovative and a great asset for our state, specifically today as we fight COVID-19, but they're also going to be valuable for us down the road and potential future weather events.
And Governor Kemp went on to say that these units could be used at other hospitals. For example, he said that Grady could have really used this when they had a major water main break back in December.
Small businesses around the country are waiting to see if they qualify for loans from the Paycheck Protection Program. Round 2 of loans are already heading out. 11Alive's Chanu Her spoke with an Atlanta business owner about how the loan is helping her.
Some small businesses in Georgia are getting a much-needed helping hand during the pandemic as the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program loans go out. It was the relief Dana and Niger was looking for after not qualifying in the first round.
I cried very hard. Cried to my husband, we hugged, we kissed, we did a happy dance.
Her recruiting and HR consulting business, Hive Talent Acquisition Firm, was put in a similar situation as other small businesses, having to furlough workers. But being approved for the PPP loan in the second round brought back those employees.
We needed the positivity, to be perfectly honest, all of us did. So we were able to bring back the 2 furloughed employees. We are a team and a family again.
Her business received one of about 2.6 million loans nationwide in the second round. Georgia businesses received $5.1 billion in loans, ranking 10th in the nation. That covered more than 78,000 loans in the state, the 8th most among all states. But Georgia's average loan was only about $66,000, which is less than the national average. Niger says throughout the pandemic and 2 application processes for loans, her staff stayed encouraged and she feels blessed to receive this loan. Now, she hopes to use her business to help others find relief.
Our business and what we do, that recruiting, that employee relations, that, trying to find people work and trying to find companies great, staff and candidates, that's needed more than ever right now.
Some of Georgia's newest drivers will need to throw it in reverse if they want to keep that license. I have a teenager in my house. Listen up, son. The road test requirement was suspended in April, allowing anyone who passed the written test to get their driver's license. The decision was meant to keep people safe from coronavirus, but critics were concerned not taking the road test could put so many drivers at risk. Yesterday, Governor Kemp clarified those drivers have until the end of September to complete their road test requirement. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office hopes someone's security camera captured an 83-year-old woman's killer. Investigators say that Barbara Gibson was murdered in her home Saturday night between 5 and 9 on Mother's Day Eve. The sheriff's office is asking anyone in the area with a Ring or other security camera to share their video from around that time. Gibson's home is near Burwell, Mount Zion Road and Old Jacksonville Road. 2 bodies were found under an overpass in northwest Georgia. Rome police called in state investigators to help figure out what happened. 11Alive Sky Tracker shows traffic blocked near Loop 1 at Etowah Bridge as investigators search the area. We're working to get more information from police as to what may have happened. For the very latest updates, download the 11Alive app.
Tonight, new details about the suspect's charge in Ahmaud Arbery's murder. Today, we learned police responded to 2 different incidents in that same neighborhood in the weeks before Arbery's death, both involving one of the suspects. Our Joe Hinkie has more.
This home under construction in Brunswick is owned by a man named Larry English, who lives at another home 90 miles away. Video appears to show Ahmaud Arbery outside and inside the home moments before being shot and killed nearby on February 23rd. An attorney for Arbery's family says there's no evidence Arbery took anything from the home or caused any damage, which English confirms. Gregory and Travis McMichael have been arrested and charged with Arbery's murder. A Glynn County police report released today details another situation at the home less than 2 weeks before, described as an ongoing issue of an unknown black man trespassing on the property, with videos and a description of the man being shared within the neighborhood. English's attorney this morning sent 11Alive video of an unidentified person inside the home on February 11th. A statement from English's attorney describes a security camera sending an alert to English's phone as he contacted a neighbor he only knew as Diego. English says Diego texted, "The police showed up and we all searched for a good while. I think he got spooked and ran after Travis confronted him. Travis says the guy ran into the house. Let me know if he shows up or if they find him." English says he did not connect the Travis mentioned in the text to Travis McMichael because he personally doesn't know Travis McMichael. In the police report, McMichael says as he drove down Zatilla Drive, he spotted someone run into the home. He then turned around and watched the home until police arrived, but officers did not find the man. A second police report released today describes on New Year's Day a gun being stolen from a vehicle at McMichael's home, several doors down from the home under construction. The report states the truck was left unlocked. Travis later noticed his pistol was missing from it, and he called police to report it.
Arbery's mother will appear on Dr. Phil's show this Friday. In the interview, she opens up about her son's shooting and who she believes should be prosecuted. You can watch that interview at 3 p.m. Friday here on 11Alive.
With so many at home, grocery bills piling up, I mean, what are you going to do? Eat, drink, complain? Food is getting more expensive. Next, a look at what's behind those escalating prices. Wes?
Now, the clouds are ruining our very nice sunset we have going here. If you're managing to see some sun at your house, it should be a really nice and colorful sunset with these high clouds. High clouds will be around for a while. Eventually, rain will come from those clouds. I'll talk more about that coming up.
And we all appreciate any kind of positivity right now. Let's head out to Marietta, where the local police department helped a member of their community celebrate a very special occasion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emmanuel. Happy birthday to you.
102 years old today.
Wow, our viewers could not get enough of this story when we posted it on the 11Alive Facebook page. Emmanuel Wilson is an Air Force veteran who, as you just heard, turned 102, and the Marietta Police Department wanted to help him celebrate. You can send him your own birthday wishes on our Facebook page. And remember, share the acts of kindness that you see happening in your community. All you have to do is email us at whereatlantaspeaks@11alive.com. You can also share them on Twitter using the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL.
Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear.
Researchers are investigating a link between vitamin D and outcomes with people for COVID-19. It's one of the three things you might have missed today. A Northwestern University study showed countries with the highest death rates from COVID-19 were also known to have people with severe vitamin D deficiencies. The researchers say more needs to be done to study a possible connection. The study has not yet been peer-reviewed, which is key in the scientific community. The researchers also caution that higher vitamin D levels won't prevent you from getting COVID-19. Well, can you picture Mickey Mouse with a face mask? Disney CEO says face coverings will likely be required for all visitors and workers at their parks once they reopen. Preparations are underway to open part of Disney Springs in Orlando to guests next week. There will be limitations on capacity, parking, and operating hours. The cast and guests would likely wear masks. Disney CEO acknowledged that it may be culturally different for U.S. guests and a bit trying on those hot and humid days, but he's encouraged by their experience in Shanghai that this is the best route to reopenings. Social Security recipients should be seeing their stimulus payments soon. The IRS says direct payments are going out today for this group. For those who receive their Social Security check by mail, it could take a little longer. Physical stimulus checks will be mailed out on Friday.
Americans are spending more money than they have in decades just to put food on the table. For some products, the monthly increases were the largest ever recorded. Here's NBC's Sam Brock.
These days, many families across the country are experiencing serious sticker shock at the grocery store. When stay-at-home orders went into effect in March, supermarket sales shot up 83%, and apparently food prices climbed too.
The meat, the deli, the ham, the cheese, even the bread is costing more now.
How much more money are you spending on groceries now than you were before this started?
More money than before. Way more, yes.
An across-the-board bump that's actually setting records. The last time food prices jumped this much from one month to the next was way back in 1974, almost a half-century ago. Federal figures reveal at least a 1.5% price increase in all food groups in April, with meats, poultry, fish, and eggs leading the way. The cost of eggs alone skyrocketed 16%.
What do you see as the driving causes?
We are, of course, right now in a national emergency, and we have experienced unprecedented demand in food products.
Leslie Saracen with the Food Industry Association says food providers are doing their best to meet rising demands with reduced production.
Some of our plants have had to close temporarily. Some of our plants have had to minimize the number of people that are working in them.
Nowhere has this been more evident than in meat processing plants, where the coronavirus has spread viciously. Adding to the problem, restaurants have a glut of extra food, while grocery stores are still trying to fill their shelves.
We can see commercial fishermen and farmers now redistributing their food from restaurants to groceries, even direct to consumer. But it doesn't happen overnight.
You got the schedule?
Yeah.
And with kids at home with virtual school, grocery bills are already up for many households.
We're cooking more, we're more in the house, and they ask for a lot of like snacks and give me this, juice, mommy, apple, this and that.
Families paying a steep price to feed their loved ones during this pandemic.
If you missed the Thunderbirds and Blue Angels flyover in Atlanta 2 weekends ago, You get another chance. Maybe you just want to see it again. There's another flyover tomorrow. The Dobbins Air Force Reserve's 94th Airlift Wing plans to fly over North Georgia hospitals tomorrow evening at 6. We have the schedule and flight path posted on 11alive.com.
There should be some great weather for that flyover as well. We got lucky 2 weeks ago with the flyover in Atlanta, and now this one over North Georgia should be really nice. But for both of them, we'll need the sunglasses and something to keep you cool out there. It was a warm day today. We could not get above 79 degrees for a high temperature. We were at 79 for 3 straight hours. Couldn't do it. You know why? All the clouds on top of us. And we've kind of turned overcast here in Gwinnett County. You can see a little bit of that sunlight. Sunset, it is about 8:31 officially in Atlanta. It's 77 degrees at Hartsfield Jackson. Not a whole lot of humidity out there. Feels like it's in the upper 70s. It's already in the 60s in Athens, 69 degrees there. Also 67 in Gainesville, 65 in Blairsville, and we're still in the 70s for everybody else pretty much outside of that. Not a whole lot going on the radar. This is just some fuzzy return. That is not actually rainfall, and we've started to lose a lot of the satellite imagery there, but generally we'll have that deck of clouds on top of us all night long. Clouds, showers, and thunderstorms across the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. We're watching this area right around here for some tropical development, maybe in the next 48 hours, but it's a slim chance of that. In fact, a 10% chance of that happening. More likely we get some sort of system developing within the next 5 days or this weekend or early next week. If it does develop, it will be called Arthur. And the way it looks right now, if or when it develops, it'll just kind of curve back off to the northeast. It could bring some swells or some increased rip current risk for the coastal areas of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, but for the most part, we will remain free from many major impacts. The real weather story is going to be just how warm it's getting this weekend and into next week. Highs in the 80s, if not in the 90s. A cold front will come through on Monday. That's going to bring us a pretty good shot of some showers and thunderstorms. It'll cool us off for a couple of days, but we will remain in this same pattern with a big ridge or a big bump in our jet stream, and that's going to allow temperatures again, I think, to get into the 90s maybe this weekend, and then a better chance of that happening next week. Look at the oranges, the reds, that corresponds with that 80 to 90 degrees mark. It's going to feel a little bit like summer out there as we go over the next week or so. Very comfortable tonight, passing clouds, a low of 59 degrees. Tomorrow, very warm. In fact, pretty darn seasonal out there. The average seasonal high is now in the upper 70s to near 80. You got us at 82 here in Atlanta. Middle 80s for Eatonton, 84, and then middle 70s across the North Georgia mountains. A little breezy with the winds out of the southeast as well. Going to give it a 9 on the whizometer. That's our scale from 1 to 11. 1 and 11 is a perfectly seasonal day. So because we're actually a little bit above the seasonal average, which is 79, and because we have the clouds, I had to knock it down to a 9. But don't worry, we got some higher whizometer numbers on there. In my 7-day forecast, 80s for the foreseeable future. In fact, all the way up until Wednesday, I should take that back. 79 for a high on Wednesday after that cold front comes through. But don't let that cool down on Tuesday and Wednesday deceive you. We're going to get back up near 90 degrees by next Thursday and into next weekend.
Just got to discharge a patient home, and everybody clapped for her while she left.
A Georgia nurse in New York City. Tonight she shares what it's like to fight COVID-19 every day in one of the nation's most impacted cities.
Enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
A Georgia nurse volunteered to help in New York City. She is 3 weeks into her 2-month journey. It has been intense, but messages from many of you are helping a lot.
Samantha Sanson sent back a video diary of how she's been making it through day by day.
Everybody thinks of this coronavirus and they're talking about it so negatively, but to see those little thoughts of hope and happiness throughout it all just give me as a nurse a lot of reassurance.
So I have this elderly man here today, and his wife called and she just wanted to see if she could talk to him.
So we just got to discharge a patient home and everybody clapped for her while she left.
There's just a little bit of happiness in all of this.
It's pretty cool to see positive in all this darkness.
This job is a lot more mentally draining. We don't know 100% what can cure this or fix this, which is hard because I want to instantly fix it and make them feel better right away, and I can't do that. So it's definitely straining. I miss home so much. It hurts. I have a countdown on my phone because I can't wait to be back with them. Picture of me and my fiance and my dog. Clicked on the link. This is Samantha Sanson. She works for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, but decided to go up to New York for 2 months to volunteer at a hospital against the fight of COVID-19. Let's give her some hometown love. Wow, 5.3K plus people. I don't even know that many people in the world. Oh gosh, my heart is like palpitating. But that is really, really cool. Wow. You know, I'm just doing what God brought us here to do. I'm just one of very many nurses that are here putting themselves on the front line in a time of need. That's what you do as a nurse. Our job is to help people.
Great to see those reactions as she read those comments from people back home rooting her on.
Yeah, she's got a long way to go, though. Yeah. What a tough job that is. I can't imagine the things that she sees on a day by day by day basis. My goodness. Yeah. All right, coming up, businesses opening in Georgia, highlighting a decision that's harder for some than others. A new study shows inequality in returning to work.
/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more.
Hair salons, gyms, shopping malls, now everyday camps are starting to reopen again in our state. But many of these steps to return to more normal are forcing some workers to make some very hard choices.
Just because a business may want or need to open back up, that doesn't mean its workers feel the same way. Too many don't have the luxury to say no. NBC's Craig Melvin reports.
Reopening America doesn't come without risks. Dr. Anthony Fauci giving Congress this blunt assessment Tuesday.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control, not only leading to some suffering and death that could be avoided, but could even set you back on the road to trying to get economic recovery.
Restaurants, retail stores, and salons all struggling with social distancing. Inga Bailey, who owns a salon in Dunwoody, Georgia, says clients were eager for her to reopen.
When the governor went on to the news to make the announcement, within 15 minutes, I had about 10 text messages.
Bailey is seeing one client at a time and disinfecting everything between appointments. But for each appointment, staying 6 feet apart is nearly impossible. A recent study found that workers whose jobs don't allow for distancing are more likely to be lower paid, less likely to have a college degree, and more likely to be non-white.
As parts of the country start to reopen, why is it that certain communities are more at risk than others?
Some communities, Black and Brown in particular, are more susceptible to having preconditions. We also know that those same communities lack public health infrastructure, places where people can actually go and receive treatment.
Najat Aziz owns a salon in Atlanta.
80% of the people hospitalized in the state of Georgia were African Americans. And it's very difficult being a Black business owner, worrying about, the age of our clients, the middle age.
They're spacing out clients, even taking appointments on the front porch. She's trying to take every precaution.
I'm giving my employees a little leeway to, let them come when they're ready. I'm not demanding anything.
Her employees say they're happy to be working again, but still have concerns.
If you have the means to not work until they have a vaccine, by all means do that. But it's some people that absolutely need to make money to provide for their families.
If your employer says it's time to come back and you don't feel safe enough to do that, well, you really don't have an option, because depending on where you live, you risk losing unemployment benefits. And without those, how are you going to support your family?
And Mitchell Lovelace is piecing together a living by selling homemade masks door to door. He and his wife used their last bit of savings to buy a sewing machine.
I'll take the 4 blue ones and then...
After the restaurant where they worked as servers shut its dining room down.
I don't want to live in fear, and I definitely don't want this to continue anymore, so
I want to get back to work. I think most of America does as well.
Beale Street, usually packed with people this time of year. Mitchell is hopeful they will return in time.
If my wife didn't know how to sew, I don't know what we would have done, to be honest.
A patchwork of solutions with an economy in tatters.
Well, not only does this apply to jobs, African Americans are also disproportionately affected by the virus itself. According to census data in Georgia, African Americans have the highest number of cases, even though they account for about 32% of the population.
Tonight, a family is celebrating an 82-year-old woman's incredible recovery from the COVID-19 virus. The family was originally told that she was being moved to hospice care and they should come and say goodbye. Instead, she surprised everybody with her resilience. Caitlin Ross with their story.
Amazing grace. Phyllis Shepard still knows all the words.
Mama, there's a lot of things she may not remember, but she still remembers how to play the piano. She still remembers songs.
Phyllis has lived at Brightmoor Nursing Home in Griffin for a year with dementia. But it doesn't stop her husband and 5 boys from visiting and singing every day.
Humor and the Lord, that carries us through everything.
If Phyllis can crack a joke, she's feeling all right.
How do you feel?
I feel all right until I see y'all.
But a few weeks ago, the laughs stopped coming when Phyllis fell incredibly ill with COVID-19. The doctors and nurses who care for her didn't think she could pull through.
Told us that they wanted her in hospice, and they said you might want to come see her the next day. And so we all came the next day expecting the worst, and when we got here, she was alert, talking to us.
Her family says her recovery is nothing short of miraculous.
That's how she looked about 2 weeks ago
in the hospital.
And you see how she looks today.
The staff at Brightmoor says she always looks radiant, but she lights up when her 94-year-old husband, Harold, comes to her window.
It was an answer to prayer. Definitely an answer to prayer.
Her family doesn't know what's next for Phyllis, but today she can smile and she can sing.
Was blind, but now I see.
She's now completely recovered from COVID-19, and she's not the only one. Coming up at 6, we'll show you how the nursing home put on a parade for all 55 of their residents who have recovered.
Caitlin, it really is so amazing. I know they're encouraged by how well she's doing, but these facilities are at such a high risk. What are they doing to keep everybody safe?
They are being incredibly careful. They know they're serving an at-risk population, and it's been all hands on deck there 24 hours a day. In the beginning of this, they were facing a PPE shortage, so they actually paid $8 per resident to make sure every resident had an N95 mask. That's how seriously they're taking this.
Caitlin, thanks a lot.
That is quite a story. There are still a lot of questions about the future of college sports. Alex Glaze caught up with UGA baseball's head coach to talk about it.
We would be getting ready to play the University of Kentucky in our final weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just makes you shake your head.
UGA baseball head coach Scott Strickland isn't used to being home much this time of the year, but because of COVID-19, he's spending a lot of time taking his dogs out, and most of his baseball coaching duties these days are geared towards his son. Strickland says UGA athletic director Greg McGarity is constantly sending out updates about the state of UGA athletics, but the truth is there's still a lot of unknowns.
You've got the fall sports that are hoping to get back and resume, and then what's the residual effect of how that affects your winter sports and your spring sports? We still don't know.
What we do know is the NCAA has granted spring sport athletes another year of eligibility. And with Major League Baseball only having 5 rounds in this year's draft instead of 40, almost 1,200 players won't be getting drafted that normally would. With that being said, there are a couple of players that Strickland is encouraging to move on with their baseball career.
Emerson, Hancock, and Cole Wilcox are both projected to be first-round picks. You know, that's not something that you tell those guys, hey, I don't think you should go. Those guys have worked all their lives to get to this point.
No date has been set for the MLB draft. It's just one of the many things that's still up in the air when it comes to sports.
Technology has been a great go-to to give talented students a chance to shine. In Fulton County, the Paideia School chorus began sang Bridge Over Troubled Waters beautifully and virtually.
Like a bridge
They sound wonderful. Those choir members were grateful to see the faces of their 80 classmates. Some of them are graduating seniors, so we want to wish them the best of luck in their next adventure. Remember, you can share the acts of kindness and joy that you are seeing all around your community. Use the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL on Twitter.
Wow, so sad, so moving. She offered him a ride only to be carjacked and left in the street. Her cautionary tale coming up next.
Starting to see some nice colors from the sunset show up here over True West Park. Kind of an overcast sky here. Probably better colors where you're seeing the sunset. If you do have an awesome sunset, be sure to post it on our Facebook page, the 11Alive Storm Trackers group as well. Coming up, I'll let you know when some rain is going to start to fall from these clouds. That's in a little bit.
We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference.
All right, let's take a look now at three other stories that you may have missed today. The president's former campaign manager has been released from prison, but he is not a free man as of yet. Paul Manafort was sentenced last year as a result of former special counsel Robert Mueller's probe into Russian election meddling. The 71-year-old attorney petitioned for his release because of coronavirus. Manafort is set to spend the rest of his 7.5-year sentence under home confinement. The latest stimulus bill in Congress includes another round of money for Americans, but don't expect the federal government to cut you a check anytime soon. House Democrats are expected to vote Friday on a pandemic relief package with a $3 trillion price tag. It includes another $1,200 check, more money for families, student debt relief, and hazard pay for frontline workers. Senate Republicans have said the bill is dead on arrival, and the White House called it unserious. The Senate wouldn't take up the bill until June. We're getting an idea of how the pandemic is impacting small business. The number of small businesses that have already closed has surpassed 100,000. The Washington Post now reporting that restaurants have been hit very hard. The information coming from a study that concluded 2% of small businesses are gone, with many others vulnerable despite federal assistance.
A man in custody tonight after police say he held a woman at knife point and stole her car. This after she gave him a ride. Our Tracy Pierce spoke with the victim today.
It was so scary. It was like a horror movie, to be honest with you.
Carolina Vargas says she gave Christopher Miller a ride last Tuesday through the Uber app, then agreed to go back and give him another ride without using the app since he seemed safe. She says she picked him up in Cleveland, Tennessee, and was supposed to head to Nashville, around 163 miles one way. But when they got on the road, she says he suggested another route.
He said he's a truck driver. I said, well, yeah, I did see the traffic. And he's saying to avoid the traffic, he was going to take me a different route. So I said, okay, yeah.
She says that route took them on back roads into Georgia. And when they reached Cohutta, things took a turn for the worse.
When he pulled a knife out and he put it on my rib.
She says at first she was in shock.
I was begging him for my life. I couldn't believe what was happening.
She decided to act.
And in that second, that's when I jumped out of the car.
She knocked 3 teeth out in the fall and hurt her foot and legs. Police later tracked down Miller and arrested him in Jacksonville. He is facing charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment.
Police say they pinged his cell phone to find him in Florida. Miller is now being held as a fugitive from justice, but will face those 3 felony charges once he is back in Georgia.
A really nice, comfortable day of weather. Temperatures actually did manage to make it to 80 degrees upon further review. We're going to be in the 80s again tomorrow, and really between then is going to be really comfortable temperatures as well, all because of all the clouds we have on top of us right now. This is a live look at Noonan as the sun has already set out there. It's 77 degrees. That's what it feels like right now at Hartsfield Jackson. 72 up in Duluth, a little closer to Noonan. Peachtree City, you're at 73. LaGrange is at 69. So is Carrollton, 72 in Rome, and it's 63 right now across the North Georgia mountains. In Blairsville, not a whole lot going on across the southeastern United States. I mean, not even any rainfall. All clear, free and clear, but there is some showers and thunderstorms south of Florida into the Keys and the Caribbean that we're going to watch for the development of maybe a tropical system or a subtropical system. Either way, it's just an area of showers and thunderstorms and a big low pressure center that may develop over the next 5 days or so right in here in this red area. The good news is really no real land impacts from the system if it does form. Maybe some coastal erosion or some riptide problems up Florida, Georgia, South Carolina coast, but that's pretty much it. The core of the storm itself looks like it's going to remain off to the northeast, and this is actually a pretty conducive pattern for the formation of some tropical cyclones, and it's also conducive to get really, really warm outside, like above seasonal levels. It's going to be closer to 90 degrees by the time we get into this weekend, as a big bump in the jet stream will be over top of our half of the United States. A cold front is going to come through on Monday and may bring us some showers and thunderstorms. It's less than a 50% chance at this point. It will cool us down about 10 degrees for a couple of days, but after that cool down, we're going to get right back into this pattern. Big bump in the jet stream. See these oranges and these reds? Take a look at our scale up here. Yeah, that translates to temperatures in the 90s. It's going to be warm, and it's going to be unseasonably warm for a while. Passing clouds tonight with temperatures falling into the upper 50s. Tomorrow, we'll go with the partly cloudy skies. Highs ranging from the middle 70s across the North Georgia mountains to the middle 80s. Eaton tenured 84, LaGrange 85, 82 for us here in Atlanta. Same thing in Marietta, Canton 81. Even Rome getting into the middle 80s out there. Going to give it a 9 out of 11. This is our wizometer. It's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfectly average seasonal day. So I had to knock it out 1 for the clouds, and I had to knock it down another 1 point because the average high is at 79 degrees. We're going to get real warm over the next weeks, folks. There is going to be a cool down, but look at this, 89 degrees by Sunday. A very slight chance of a shower. It looks like Sunday evening as a cold front approaches. Only a 40% chance some showers and thunderstorms on Monday. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we cool down. But let me tell you, what's not in the 7-day forecast is next Thursday and onward, where temperatures could be as high as the lower 90s.
All right, Wes, thank you. As more people are getting back to more regular routines, nurses want to remind everyone that COVID-19 hasn't gone away. It's still a day in and day out fight for those who are sick and for the healthcare workers caring for them.
My name's Selena Chang, and I am a nurse at Emory St. Joseph's Hospital. I work on the COVID unit on 2 South. The way that these patients deteriorate is unprecedented, and I'm constantly having to check on my patients. I'm constantly hoping that they're not going to deteriorate to a point where they have to go to the ICU, and I am constantly praying that they're able to go home.
Happy birthday to you.
We had a patient whose birthday had passed during this time, and we made a huge celebration for her. We sang happy birthday to her outside of her room. We got all of our staff to come and just celebrate her. And as she was being discharged, I was the charge nurse at that time. And as she was being wheeled out, she was just expressing to us how much that encouraged her and how it comforted her and gave her peace. And she even said that it was one of the best birthdays that she's ever had, because she felt like there were angels that were surrounding her and people that she could rely on, depend on during this time.
All right, this year's been a tough one. Pandemic, killer hornets. Should we add something else? Oh, we can handle it, right? The hurricane season, the start of it, weeks away, but try telling that to a system brewing right now. Oh gosh, the latest on what we're watching for this weekend. Stay with us, please. It gets better.
The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make?
As the coronavirus continues to spread, there is another threat. Millions along the Gulf and Atlantic coast must now begin to consider hurricane season, officially set to begin on June 1st. But Mother Nature, Jeff, is not waiting.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, here we go. Forecasters warning a tropical system could develop this weekend, an early start to what could be a very active 6 months. Here is the ever-present Jay Gray.
In the middle of a global pandemic, there is another ill wind blowing. With the official start of hurricane season just over 2 weeks away, there's already a subtropical storm developing just off the Florida coast.
Our first threat of the 2020 Atlantic season is going to be forming on Friday or Saturday.
Most forecasters predict the storm will push out to sea. Still, it serves as a warning for what could be a violent season.
All indications are we're going to have an above average hurricane season. We're going to have more hurricanes. We're going to have stronger hurricanes.
Colorado State University scientists predicting 16 named storms, including 8 hurricanes, 4 of those major Category 3 or higher storms. A frightening outlook, especially as COVID-19 continues to spread.
You're looking at sheltering for hurricane, you got to keep that in mind. I mean, if you pile people into a place under normal circumstances, that may be fine, but that would potentially allow the virus to really spread if somebody is in fact infected.
As the number of those infected grows, and with the likelihood of an active and angry hurricane season, everyone along the coast now treading lightly, waiting for what could come next.
Coming up, certain states are pushing for live sports to return in their state. Where could sports return as soon as this weekend? That's coming up next.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews.
So what I would tell commissioners of leagues is if you have a team in an area where they just won't let them operate, we'll find a place for you here in the state of Florida.
So Florida is the latest to welcome sports back to its state. Last night, Arizona said live sports without fans can resume this weekend. Now, those two states are not surprising since they are part of reported plans with multiple leagues. We reached out to Governor Kemp about opening the state to professional sports. We haven't heard back yet. Now, yesterday, the governor announced guidelines for opening camps this summer with some restrictions. We wondered how this might impact high school football as teams get ready for summer. GHSA Director Dr. Robin Hines told us no decisions on summer football camps have been made, and the football schedule has not been released. A source told 11Alive the varsity schedules have been finalized, but it's too soon to make decisions on camps that would be on in June. In April, Governor Kemp closed all schools through the end of the school year. So from high school to college, what about colleges and universities? The real answer is nobody knows yet. While California's system announced its schools will not allow students on campus this fall, the NCAA said there may not be a uniform approach to which schools play sports this fall. So we don't know. I mean, we don't know where any of this is going as of yet. Every state seemed to have its own view as to what course it will navigate in terms of public gatherings.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
New revelations about one of the men accused of killing a Brunswick jogger in cold blood. Disturbing details about his time working for the justice system. Thousands of people volunteering to be infected with COVID-19. How it could speed up the search for a cure and why some say it's a bad idea.
Tuskegee University, Alabama A&M.
32 in all?
I believe it's 32 in all.
A huge accomplishment after a bizarre end to high school for all Georgia seniors. We honor remarkable achievements. We are covering a lot of stories for you tonight, but we began with the latest on the killing of a young black man in Brunswick, a white father and son in jail.
You know, Ahmaud Arbery was just 25 years old when he died, and he was out for a jog. This happened on February 23rd, when investigators say that he was shot and killed by Gregory and Travis McMichael. The McMichaels were not arrested until last week, nearly 3 months after Arbery's death. Only after video of the confrontation went public and the GBI was brought in to investigate this case. So 11Alive, they obtained documents showing Gregory McMichael had worked for more than 2 decades as an investigator with the Brunswick District Attorney's Office, but for several years, he did not have the proper certification to be a peace officer. Joe Hinkie has that story for us tonight.
In Gregory McMichael's personnel file from the Brunswick County DA's office is a memo from 2014 detailing McMichael letting the DA know he received a notification from Georgia Post, the state organization that oversees certifications of police officers in Georgia. The memo mentions McMichael saying he learned he fell behind on his training hours and did not have the power to make arrests since 2006, more than an 8-year period. In a letter detailing why he fell behind on training hours to be a certified officer, McMichael points to a heart attack, the following recovery, a later colon surgery, a second heart attack, and having to declare bankruptcy due to mounting medical bills. A letter to the DA mentions Post director saying liability for improper actions by McMichael would fall on Greg, the district attorney's office, and district attorney Jackie Johnson personally. Johnson addressed a letter to Post, thanking Post for helping McMichael later receive a waiver so he could continue to serve as an investigator and regain proper certification. She said, "It has negatively impacted my office, and I've taken measures to ensure that this does not happen again." McMichael would remain with the DA's office as a chief investigator until February of 2019, when he again failed to maintain his certification, and he was reassigned to a non-officer position with the DA ahead of his retirement in June of 2019. And we contacted the Brunswick District Attorney's office today and asked the DA if she had any statement about McMichael falling behind on his certification training and also whether he made any arrests during that time period where he lacked the power to make arrests. So far, we have not received a response.
The Glynn County Police Department, the department that responded to the Arbery shooting, was once described by a grand jury as having an ongoing culture of cover-up. Reveal investigator Faith Abube uncovers years of troubling details about the agency and its officers.
The case has put the troubled police department in the spotlight. The Reveal has uncovered an internal investigation report, grand jury findings, and lawsuits against the department alleging corruption, a culture of cover-up, and abuse of power. The documents also allege false statements, tampering with evidence, influencing or intimidating witnesses, hindering arrest of one of their own, and destroying or not properly maintaining public records.
This is a department that is not necessarily following the rules and is kind of made up of a lot of rogue actors.
Darren Penn is an Atlanta attorney representing a woman suing the Glynn County Police Department for allegedly mishandling her daughter's domestic violence case. That daughter was married to a police officer in the same department.
They're going through a divorce.
He is not allowed in my house. This is not his house.
Mr. Corey Sasser, an incredibly violent and out of control police officer for the Glynn County Police Department.
The former Glynn County police officer killed his estranged wife and another man before turning the gun on himself in 2018. Penn says the officer's wife complained to the department repeatedly, but they failed to arrest the officer when it mattered, and he thinks that parallels what's happened in the Arbery case.
Just the overall hesitancy to do anything about it, to investigate them, to make any kind of arrests, to actually, at the end of the day, protect the public.
5 days after the Ahmaud Arbery shooting, the Glynn County Police Chief, 3 high-ranking police officers were all indicted on multiple criminal charges. One of the charges, having sex with confidential informants. More on Faith's investigation tonight on Up Late over on 11 Alive.
As Georgia continues to fight the spread of COVID-19, temporary medical pods are now being set up all across our state. Today, Governor Brian Kemp toured at least one of them. This is at the Floyd Medical Center in Rome. So it can house 20 non-critical coronavirus patients. Another temporary unit set up in the parking deck has at least 100 beds. The governor praising the forward thinking of the state's healthcare community.
You're seeing innovation, quite honestly, at its best in our state. So I think this is going to be a great asset for our state, and we're certainly proud to have them today. And I hope we don't have any patients that have to go in them.
You know, the governor says these units will help beyond the pandemic, such as during severe weather. 3 other medical pods are already set up in Atlanta, as well as Gainesville and Albany, and all of them hit really hard by this virus. And despite the pandemic, this summer camps are going to be reopening under the new guidelines of Governor Brian Kemp. He's going to allow them to open up. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has that story for us tonight.
Camps have been making preparations for weeks just for the possibility that they will be able to open this summer. Now it appears they can, with some very strict guidelines. Camps will require children and workers to be checked for fever and other COVID-19 symptoms each day, and parents will remain in vehicles when they drop them off. Campers will get a squirt of hand sanitizer as soon as they arrive. The guidelines allow groups of up to 20 adults and children with no explicit social distancing requirement, keeping those groups together for the duration of the camp with no mingling with other groups. And the guidelines require a quick exit for any sick camper or worker with no return for at least 10 days. Amy Wilson runs Camp Zone of Light in Northeast Atlanta.
We will be able to keep a socially distant environment for our children, and we've set up cleaning stations, and every teacher has a timer. We're really pleased to be able to finally open up.
We did talk with one camp director who said that she's not going to reopen this summer because she thinks it's just not safe. Amy Wilson says she doesn't expect to make any money with her camp this summer, but it will give her an opportunity just to stay in business.
So what do you think about this issue? Do you feel comfortable sending your kids to camp this summer? And so far, you are responding right now. More than 86% of you say you do not. So we would love to hear your opinion. What do you think about this? Just tap the 11 Alive app. You can also go to our website, 11alive.com/vote. We would love to be able to hear from you tonight.
Nursing homes have been at the epicenter of coronavirus outbreaks. They're linked to 1/3 of U.S. deaths from the virus and half of Georgia's COVID deaths as well. The White House is calling for aggressive testing of residents and staff. Governor Kemp says it's been happening in Georgia for weeks with help of the National Guard.
They have tested 46% of nursing home residents and 24% of the staff at those facilities. We estimate that there are 46,000 people who still need to be tested. In total, the Guard has tested 142 nursing homes, and they continue to move forward like they have with their infection control mission until that mission is complete.
Georgia's Department of Public Health is tracking cases at nursing homes and assisted living communities with 25 beds or more. Their most recent report shows more than 4,500 residents have tested positive for COVID-19. 744 of them have died, and more than 1,900 staff members tested positive for the virus. Officials say mass testing at nursing homes is responsible for a sudden spike in coronavirus cases in Cobb County. This graph helps us show what's happening there, so you can see Cobb has reported 322 new cases in the past week. That's more than any other county, but it's not a reason to panic, though. Look at the bottom of the graph. Each bar represents a single day. The ones in orange mark the point from when we started reopening Georgia on May 1st. The dotted line is the 7-day average. That's the most important number. You can see both are evening out in the orange zone, meaning the situation. So it's not getting worse, but it's also not improving either. Let's take a look at Gwinnett County now. The situation is improving there. You can see the bars and the dotted line in the orange zone are both dropping off, and we are also seeing a slight downward trend into DeKalb County too, and that orange zone showing cases since we started reopening Georgia. Small businesses around the country are waiting to see if they qualify for loans from the Paycheck Protection Program. Round 2 of loans are already going out. 11Alive's Chanu Hur talked to an Atlanta business owner about how the loan is helping her.
Some small businesses in Georgia are getting a much-needed helping hand during the pandemic as the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program loans go out. It was the relief Dana and Niger was looking for after not qualifying in the first round.
I cried very hard. Cried to my husband, we hugged, we kissed, we did a happy dance.
Her recruiting and HR consulting business, Hive Talent Acquisition Firm, was put in a similar situation as other small businesses, having to furlough workers. But being approved for the PPP loan in the second round brought back those employees.
We needed the positivity, to be perfectly honest, all of us did. So we were able to bring back the 2 furloughed employees. We are a team and a family again.
Her business received one of about 2.6 million loans nationwide in the second round. Georgia businesses received $5.1 billion in loans, ranking 10th in the nation. That covered more than 78,000 loans in the state, the 8th most among all states. But Georgia's average loan was only about $66,000, which is less than the national average. Niger says throughout the pandemic and 2 application processes for loans, her staff stayed encouraged, and she feels blessed to receive this loan. Now, she hopes to use her business to help others find relief.
Our business and what we do, that recruiting, that employee relations, that, trying to find people work and trying to find companies great, staff and candidates, that's needed more than ever right now.
Much more to come, including a young man from Metro Atlanta who has a lot of options for college, 32 of them. His amazing story next.
And your 11Alive storm trackers have been watching some of those clouds move by today. It almost made it seem kind of overcast at times. Now that the sun has gone down over the northwest side of town and all over North Georgia, what you can expect for Thursday when we have our next big flyover.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around.
Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continue.
Welcome back, everyone. Right now, more than 14,000 people are volunteering to help find a cure, a vaccine for COVID-19, but some argue there are ethical issues to consider. 11Alive's Jennifer Bellamy has more.
For many, a coronavirus vaccine is the key to getting back to normal life. Under usual circumstances, the path to a viable vaccine can take months or years. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, some have begun pushing for human challenge trials to speed up the process. These types of trials would involve intentionally infecting participants with a mild or medium-strength version of virus, possibly man-made, to test vaccines. Supporters say it could lead researchers to develop a vaccine months faster, saving thousands of lives. More than 14,000 willing participants have created an advocacy group to see it happen, and 35 bipartisan members of Congress have asked regulators to consider the human challenge trials. But critics point to factors like hospital space and protective equipment, volunteers wanting to leave the study, and the historic perception of these trials, with experiments on captive or disabled populations without consent. While participants would have to give consent, critics also point out there's no widespread agreement on virus treatments, mortality rates, and long-term effects of the virus. The Food and Drug Administration has never allowed a human challenge trial for a new disease without a cure. The FDA said in a statement it could expedite vaccine development, but also raises potential scientific and ethical issues. The administration said it would work with those interested to evaluate those issues.
So right now there is no plan of any trials here in the United States, but it is taking place as we speak in London and Switzerland. By the way, as Jennifer pointed out, the FDA has to have the final decision for any trial in the United States.
Nothing about the end of senior year has felt much like the end of a senior year of high school, right? Except maybe planning for the year ahead. Savion Smith from Hapeville has a lot of options. Here's Cheryl Prehigh.
My senior year ended as very unexpected.
Seniors are finding out what they'll miss about high school before high school actually ends.
That connection that we had in school, that bond where you can talk physically, that's something that we cherish.
Savion Smith's options for what's next are impressive.
Mississippi Valley State,
32
Miles
college acceptance letters,
SIU Carbondale, Alabama A&M,
and $500,000 in scholarship offers.
Means that my work has paid off. My hard work has actually paid off.
He is excited about the future.
Use every opportunity you can have to do whatever you can do.
Savion says he's going to miss a traditional graduation, but he sees the class of 2020 is living history.
You'll tell your kids about this someday.
When they're reading that social studies book and it says COVID-19, I'm like, oh yeah, I know about COVID-19. We lived through that in 2020. Cancel this, cancel that, put a halt to this, put a halt to that.
But you made it through.
We made it through. Exactly.
Congratulations to Savion and all our seniors. 11Alive wants to give all Georgia high school graduates their moment to shine, share their story and their photo. One of you that you and your family took, no professional photos, please go ahead and text us 404-885-7600 and your grad could be featured in our senior spotlight every night on Up Late at 11 on 11Alive. There are more than 800 high schools in Georgia. That is a lot of students to celebrate as the year ends. Here is a spring concert creatively rearranged in Fulton County. Here is the Milton High School Chorus.
Each student recorded their individual parts, yet they're perfectly in sync and in harmony. You can feel their unity even though they're not together. It is the power of music.
I'm meteorologist Samantha Moore in for Chris Holcomb this week, and we're watching those temperatures on the rise. 80 degrees. We ended up reaching 80 today, a little after 5 o'clock this afternoon, so that was just 1 degree above our high temperature, so very close to average, and our low started out a little cool, but we're going to be much warmer overnight tonight as our temperatures continue to stay on the mild side. We're at 70 in Dalton right now, 70 in Rome and Duluth, 74 in Atlanta at this hour, and we're running right around anywhere from 5 to even 14 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. So with the clouds around, just enough cloud cover to insulate us a little bit. I think we're going to be in the 60s for much of the overnight. So we won't be down in the 40s. We won't even be in the 50s. We're going to be just down in the low 60s in the middle of the night. So feeling pretty mild. You're probably not going to need that jacket in the morning. And then we warm it up very quickly into the low 80s once we get into the afternoon hours. So it will be a beautiful day and a great day for the C-130s to do their flyover across northwest Georgia. That's going to start at 6 o'clock. We should be around 77 degrees at that time, sunny and warm. Perfect conditions. So we'll have a few clouds around, but plenty of sunshine mixed in. 80s the rest of the week, and then we have our eyes on the tropics, as we could end up seeing our first tropical storm of the season form over the weekend. It's forming along that frontal system. It's an area of low pressure. We're expecting it to develop and move parallel to the coastline. You can see it spinning right off the Florida coast. That's going to be bringing in some big waves, as well as some really strong rip currents as well as we head into this weekend along our coastline, along the Carolina coast. So keep that in mind if you happen to be heading for the coast this weekend. And, you know, the last 5 years we have had named storms in the month of May, so it wouldn't be totally out of the question. It has happened, and often recently. If we do get another storm, or if we do get a named storm, it'll be named Arthur, and right now the National Hurricane Center giving us a 70% chance of that happening. So we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, it'll be mostly dry and mostly warm, getting up into the mid to upper 80s by the end of the week and the weekend, and just a slight chance for showers late Sunday and a better chance on Monday.
All right, thanks a lot, Sam. You know, as hazard pay is debated for our frontline workers all across the country, there's a member of the Atlanta Police Department who is using his hazard pay to actually give back to the community.
Kids who live in disadvantaged communities, they don't have the resources like iPads or tablets or internet to help them with their education.
When investigator Keith Backman learned about a few children who could not do their schoolwork through e-learning, he then reached out into his own pocket and bought 5 Amazon tablets for the kids. Backman says that he wants to give them every single opportunity to have a bright future.
All right, school's out, but when's it coming back? There are some high-level differences of opinion. Next, what President Trump had to say about Dr. Fauci's analysis.
On daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Official is warning tonight that if the states open up too soon, it could be a major hit to our economy and also cause more deaths out there. The Federal Reserve Chairman today warned that the economic damage could become permanent if Congress does not act soon enough with more relief money. Alice Barr has more from Washington.
Tonight, President Trump again urging governors to get not just businesses, but schools running, despite growing evidence children may be vulnerable to coronavirus.
The state is not open if the schools aren't open.
The president dismissing the warning from one of his top medical experts, Dr. Anthony Fauci, that reopening states too quickly could set back the public health battle and economic recovery.
I was surprised by his answer, actually, because, it's just, to me, it's not an acceptable answer, especially when it comes to schools.
At the same time, President Trump acknowledging he's keeping his distance from Vice President Pence, whose press secretary tested positive for coronavirus.
I guess we said for a little while we'll stay apart because you don't know what happens with this very crazy and horrible disease.
This, says troubling new data, shows the crisis shifting to America's heartland. An unpublished coronavirus task force report obtained by NBC News finding the top 10 areas with the largest weekly increase in cases are in the central and southern regions. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell urging Congress to act quickly to shore up the economy. House Democrats are planning to vote this Friday on a $3 trillion emergency relief package, including another round of stimulus checks to Americans.
It isn't about politics, it's about humanity.
Dead on arrival. Mr. President. Of course, Nancy Pelosi knows that. Yeah.
Republican leaders have already said they won't go along with the plan because they want to wait to see whether the first aid packages were effective.
A nursing home in Griffin, Georgia is celebrating all of the residents who have recovered from COVID-19. 57 residents have beat it. One of them, an 82-year-old woman who they sent to hospice care with the love of her husband and sons, fought her way back to good health. Caitlin Ross shares their story.
Every day, 94-year-old Harold Shepard comes to his bride's window.
Wonderful. I would love for them to stay all the time with me.
82-year-old Phyllis has dementia and has been a resident at Brightmoor Nursing Home in Griffin for a year. Her family says when she caught the coronavirus, her doctors didn't think she would survive.
Told us that they wanted her in hospice, and they said you might want to come see her the next day. And so we all came the next day expecting the worst, and when we got here, she was alert, talking to us, making jokes.
The nursing home says she's one of 57 residents at the center who have recovered from the virus. They held a parade to celebrate every one of those residents and videotaped it so their loved ones could share in the joy. Sadly, 18 of their residents have died since April. They're still looking into which ones may be directly linked to COVID-19. But they say they're working every day to do everything they can to help their residents recover.
These staff members have always been like family, and our residents are families to us. And so every recovery is just amazing, and we celebrate each one of them.
It is awesome to see her getting stronger, and singing through the window is so sweet, but I know the family has other things they're really looking forward to.
The family is really looking forward to being able to be in the room with Phyllis again. They say they can't wait to hug her. And the nursing home says they're so excited for all of the social distancing guidelines to pass when the virus is really over, so they can throw a huge party for everyone in person.
Caitlin, thanks.
Our 11Alive team is working 24/7 to bring you real-time updates on coronavirus and its impact on Georgia. Just click on the special section of the 11Alive app. You'll also find stories of all positive ways you're staying connected during the pandemic.
Next, a warning about China, possibly hacking our researchers' work on COVID-19. That report is next.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this.
Cybersecurity experts are now warning the United States that China is trying to steal COVID-19 research from American researchers. NBC's Richard Engel has more from London.
Today, U.S. cyber defense authorities and the FBI issued a statement directly accusing China of trying to hack into and steal secrets from the U.S. healthcare system, academic institutions, scientists, all working on COVID-19, including those working on a vaccine. And the statement said these attempts to steal critical information are jeopardizing those programs. And it is not just China that stands accused, and it is not just the U.S. that apparently is being targeted by these potential online threats. Here in the U.K., I spoke to the head of cybersecurity at a division of GCHQ, which is this country's equivalent of the NSA, and he said that COVID-19 is drawing in state actors, drawing in hackers.
I've not seen attempts to disrupt healthcare, but we are seeing attacks on some university research into COVID-related matters, and we're seeing interest in strategic health bodies and so forth. So I think it is more the risk around how our response to COVID is working. The race is on to get vaccines. The race is on to get better data.
Welcome news for some parents wondering what to do with their kids this summer. Others not so sure how they feel about the fact that summer camps will be allowed to open starting tomorrow. The Georgia governor easing the restrictions, but there are still a lot of rules they have to follow. 11Alive's Doug Richards explains.
Well, let's just say that some parents who have had their kids home from school since March are a little pumped to be able to have the opportunity to get them out of the house and into a summer camp.
I think it would be beneficial to all of us to have a little break from one another.
Mary Beth Martin's school-age children will go to camp this summer. But camp will have new rules imposed by the state of Georgia. There's a list of 32 new requirements for day camps accepting children. It requires children and workers to be checked for fever and other COVID-19 symptoms each day, with parents remaining in vehicles at check-in. Campers get squirted with hand sanitizer upon drop-off. The rules allow groups of up to 20 adults and children with no social distancing requirement, keeping those groups together for the duration of the camp with no mingling with other groups. The rules require masks for workers as appropriate and requires a quick exit of any sick camper or worker with no return for at least 10 days.
We're really pleased to be able to finally open up. We've been out of work since this pandemic began.
Amy Wilson runs a camp called Zone of Light in Northeast Atlanta. She's planning to exceed the governor's guidelines with smaller classes and enforced social distancing.
I am grateful to have the opportunity to make healthy choices.
They're going to be out playing in the creek anyway. So I say let them go be with other kids and let that be my decision.
We did talk off camera with one camp director who said that she expects to keep her camp closed this summer because she thinks it's just not safe enough yet.
Researchers are investigating a link between vitamin D and outcomes for people with COVID-19. It's one of 3 things you may have missed today. A Northwestern University study showed countries with the highest death rates from COVID-19 were also known to have people with severe vitamin D deficiencies. The researchers say more needs to be done to study a possible connection. The study has not yet been peer-reviewed, which is key in the scientific community. The researchers also caution that higher vitamin D levels won't prevent you from getting COVID-19. Well, can you picture Mickey Mouse wearing a face mask? Disney CEO says face coverings will likely be required for all visitors and workers at their parks once they do reopen. Preparations are underway to open part of Disney Springs in Orlando to guests next week. There will be limitations on capacity, parking, and operating hours. The cast and guests would likely wear masks. Disney's CEO acknowledged that it may be culturally different for U.S. guests and a bit trying. You know, it's going to get all hot and humid outside, but he is encouraging people that by their experience in Shanghai that this is the best route to reopen. Social Security recipients should be seeing their stimulus payments soon. The IRS says direct payments are going out today for this group. For those who receive their Social Security check by mail, it could be a little bit longer. Physical stimulus checks will be mailed out Friday.
Temporary medical pods are now being set up all across the state of Georgia to help treat some of those COVID-19 patients in the hardest hit areas. Nick Sturdivant has more on the governor's tour of the Floyd Medical Center.
Behind me is a temporary medical pod set up here at Floyd Medical Center in Rome that can house 20 beds to treat non-critical COVID-19 patients. And just in front of me, just feet away, is another temporary unit that can house 100 beds that is set up in the parking deck. Governor Kemp, along with the staff here and local leaders, toured both facilities. Back in early March, a 46-year-old woman who was being treated at Floyd Medical Center with flu-like symptoms tested positive for COVID-19. Because of that, 20 hospital employees who were exposed to the woman had to self-quarantine. At this morning's news conference, Kemp said these units are a great asset to Georgia to help patients and protect healthcare workers.
Really shows how forward-thinking that this group has been, and quite honestly, I think how forward-thinking our state has been in a lot of ways. Still very innovative and a great asset for our state, specifically today as we fight COVID-19, but they're also going to be valuable for us down the road and potential future weather event.
And Governor Kemp went on to say that these units could be used at other hospitals. For example, he said that Grady could have really used this when they had a major water main break back in December.
Your 11Alive storm trackers are tracking what could end up being the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, and it could happen as early as Friday or into the weekend. We'll talk about the timing of that and your other weekend details as well.
And we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you. We hear you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Tonight, new details about the suspects charged in Ahmaud Arbery's murder. And today we learned that police responded to two different incidents in that same neighborhood leading up to his death, both involving one of the suspects. Joe Hinkie has that story for us tonight.
This home under construction in Brunswick is owned by a man named Larry English, who lives at another home 90 miles away. Video appears to show Ahmaud Arbery outside and inside the home moments before being shot and killed nearby on February 23rd. An attorney for Arbery's family says there's no evidence Arbery took anything from the home or caused any damage, which English confirms. Gregory and Travis McMichael have been arrested and charged with Arbery's murder. A Glynn County police report released today details another situation at the home less than 2 weeks before, described as an ongoing issue of an unknown black man trespassing on the property, with videos and a description of the man being shared within the neighborhood. English's attorney this morning sent 11Alive video of an unidentified person inside the home on February 11th. A statement from English's attorney describes a security camera sending an alert to English's phone as he contacted a neighbor he only knew as Diego. English says Diego texted, "The police showed up and we all searched for a good while. I think he got spooked and ran after Travis confronted him. Travis says the guy ran into the house. Let me know if he shows up or if they find him." English says he did not connect the Travis mentioned in the text to Travis McMichael because he personally doesn't know Travis McMichael. In the police report, McMichael says as he drove down Zatilla Drive, he spotted someone run into the home. He then turned around and watched the home until police arrived, but officers did not find the man. A second police report released today describes on New Year's Day a gun being stolen from a vehicle at McMichael's home, several doors down from the home under construction. The report states a truck was left unlocked. Travis later noticed his pistol was missing from it, and he called police to report it.
By the way, Arbery's mom is going to be on the Dr. Phil show. It's going to happen this Friday, and she really opens up about the shooting and who she thinks should be prosecuted in this case. So it's going to happen this Friday, 3 p.m. on the Dr. Phil show on 11Alive.
Let's take a look now at 3 other stories you may have missed today. The president's former campaign manager has been released from prison, but he's not a free man just yet. Paul Manafort was sentenced last year as a result of former special counsel Robert Mueller's probe into the Russian election meddling. The 71-year-old's attorneys petitioned for his release because of the coronavirus pandemic. Manafort is set to spend the rest of his 7.5-year sentence under home confinement. The latest stimulus bill in Congress includes another round of money for Americans, but don't expect the federal government to cut you a check anytime soon. House Democrats are expected to vote Friday on a pandemic relief package with a $3 trillion price tag. It includes another $1,200 check, more money for families, student debt relief, and hazard pay for frontline workers. Senate Republicans have said the bill is dead on arrival, and the White House called it unserious. The Senate would not take up the bill until June. We are getting an idea of how the pandemic is impacting small businesses. The number of small businesses that have already closed has surpassed 100,000. The Washington Post reports restaurants have been hit especially hard. The information comes from a study that concluded 2% of small businesses are gone, with many others vulnerable despite federal assistance.
A Georgia nurse who volunteered to go to New York City to help those who were suffering from COVID-19 is just 3 weeks into her 2-month journey. And she says the messages from a lot of you are really helping her out, supporting her, and encouraging her as well. Samantha Sanson sent us back a video diary of what she's actually going through. Check it out.
Everybody thinks of this coronavirus and they're talking about it so negatively, but to see those little spots of hope and happiness throughout it all just give me as a nurse a lot of reassurance.
So I have this elderly man here today, and his wife called, and she just wanted to see if she could talk to him.
So we just got to discharge a patient home, and everybody clapped for her while she left.
There's just a little bit of happiness in all of this.
It's pretty cool to see positive in all this darkness.
This job is a lot more mentally draining. We don't know 100% what can cure this or fix this, which is hard because I want to instantly fix it and make them feel better right away, and I can't do that. So it's definitely straining. I miss home so much. It hurts. I have a countdown on my phone because I can't wait to be back with them. Picture of me and my fiance and my dog. Clicked on the link. This is Samantha Sandstone. She works for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, but decided to go up to New York for 2 months to volunteer at a hospital against the fight of COVID-19. Let's give her some hometown love. Wow, 5.3K plus people. I don't even know that many people in the world. Oh gosh. My heart is like palpitating. But that is really, really cool. Wow. You know, I'm just doing what God brought us here to do. I'm just one of very many nurses that are here putting themselves on the front line in a time of need. That's what you do as a nurse. Our job is to help people.
Well, your 11Alive storm trackers have been busy posting some really great work, as always, but this shot of the clouds still lingering here this evening at sunset was by Blake Robb, and we really thank him for sending his drone up just about every day, giving us some stellar pictures. And then also, just for the cuteness factor, this bluebird, it looks like a daddy bluebird feeding his baby here, and this was taken by storm tracker Pam Dowdy. And gosh, what great work. I can't imagine capturing just that right moment. Just really precious stuff. So we're looking at those showers that were to our north a little earlier. They've just totally fallen apart. Really didn't see anything measurable out of that. And there is moisture off to our west, but it's going to ride up and over that ridge too. So we don't need to worry about it. You know, we finally hit 80 degrees just after 5 o'clock tonight. Temperatures were on the mild side, and it's going to be on the mild side overnight tonight as well, with temperatures getting down into the 60s and not dropping into the 50s, not getting into the 40s. We're going to be in the low 60s for much of the night. So it's definitely going to feel milder as you head out the door early tomorrow morning. So right now we're looking at 70 in Rome, 74 in Atlanta, 64 in Eatonton, and 70 in Thomaston. And we're looking at a 9 on the wazometer on our Thursday, unseasonably warm, getting into the low 80s. We'll have some clouds, but I think we'll have a little more sunshine than we had today. So do remember to wear your sunscreen or your hat or your sunglasses, or stay in the shade. Just keep in mind that you can burn with a UV index of 9, you can burn in as little as 15 minutes. So do protect your skin as best you can. And you'll want to take your shades out for the C-130 flyover that's going to be happening, and that's going to be tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. The great conditions for that. Just a few clouds and temperatures very comfortable in the upper 70s at flyby time. So we'll have partly sunny skies tomorrow, 80s the rest of the week, getting into the upper 80s by the weekend, and that is when we're going to be watching the tropics for possibly our first named storm system of the season. In the meantime, a few clouds out there tonight. That'll insulate in our warmth. We'll have partly cloudy skies in the morning, clouds passing from time to time. Again, we'll try to see some showers work in here during the afternoon. They're not going to make it. Maybe a few sprinkles in the North Georgia mountains. That will be about it. And then on our Friday, it'll be pretty much a weather repeat. There'll be a system trying to make its way in, but it's not going to make it across that ridge on Friday. So we'll be mostly dry as we head into the first half of the weekend, and then a few showers trying to work their way into the North Georgia mountains on Saturday. But again, I don't think they're going to make it here into the Atlanta area. So as we head into the weekend, it's going to be warm, temperatures in the upper 80s, and our attention as storm trackers is going to be down here in the southern tip of Florida, where that frontal system was that pulled up stationary on Monday. They're going to see an area of low pressure form along that front, and that's going to move right parallel to the coast. So expect big waves if you're heading to any of the Florida beaches, Georgia beaches, South Carolina, or North Carolina beaches for that matter, as we do expect a 70% chance that this system could be our first named storms of the season, and it could be subtropical, it could be tropical. We're going to have to wait and see, but thank goodness it looks like right now it'll be on course to go out into the Atlantic. So we'll end up seeing those warming temperatures day by day this week, upper 80s for your weekend, 89, almost 90 on Sunday, and a mostly dry weekend to look forward to, and a chance of storms on Monday.
All right, thanks a lot, Sam. So when will college sports come back? There are a lot of differing opinions out there. We're going to speak with a UGA coach to sort some of this out. That's coming up next.
Your taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today. We all appreciate some positivity right now. Let's go to Marietta, where the local police department helped a member of their community celebrate a special occasion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emmanuel. Happy birthday to you.
102 years old today.
Our viewers could not get enough of this story when we posted it on the 11Alive Facebook page. Emmanuel Wilson is an Air Force veteran. He just turned 102, and the Marietta Police Department wanted to help him celebrate. Send him some birthday wishes on our Facebook post. And remember to share the acts of kindness you see in your community. Just email us at we'reatlantaspeaks@11alive.com. You can also share them on Twitter using the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL.
Aisha, as you know, there's still a lot of questions about the future of college sports.
Alex Glaze caught up with UGA Baseball's head coach to talk about it.
We would be getting ready to play the University of Kentucky in our final weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just makes you shake your head.
UGA Baseball head coach Scott Strickland isn't used to being home much this time of the year, but because of COVID-19, he's spending a lot of time taking his dogs out, and most of his baseball coaching duties these days are geared towards his son. Strickland says UGA Athletic Director Greg McGarity is constantly sending out updates about the state of UGA athletics, but the truth is there's still a lot of unknowns.
You've got the fall sports that are hoping to get back and resume, and then what's the residual effect of how that affects your winter sports and your spring sports? We still don't know.
What we do know is the NCAA has granted spring sport athletes another year of eligibility. And with Major League Baseball only having 5 rounds in this year's draft instead of 40, almost 1,200 players won't be getting drafted that normally would. With that being said, there are a couple of players that Strickland is encouraging to move on with their baseball career.
Emerson, Hancock, and Cole Wilcox are both projected to be first-round picks. You know, that's not something that you tell those guys, hey, I don't think you should go. Those guys have worked all their lives to get to this point.
No date has been set for the MLB draft. It's just one of the many things that's still up in the air when it comes to sports.
Well, our temperatures are going to continue to warm a little bit each day, and by the weekend, we're in the upper 80s, a mostly dry 5-day period. Chances of rain late Sunday, and then a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms the beginning of next week.
All right, thanks for joining us here in Primetime. Stick around. We are coming right back at you at the top of the 10 o'clock hour.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Tonight at 10, we take a closer look at the week and the weeks leading up to the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, including two situations involving the men, the father and son, charged in his murder from Glynn County. People are paying more for groceries than they have in decades, going back almost 50 years. What's behind the price hike? When the prices could fall again. We'll talk about that. But on this Wednesday night, it was one of the most tragic murder cases in Metro Atlanta, really ever. When you take a look at the history of Atlanta over the last X number of decades, this certainly is one of the top. A Cobb County mother, Sarah Tokars, shot to death in front of her two young sons, aged 4 and 6. Her husband, the prominent Atlanta attorney back then, Fred Tokars, convicted of hiring a hitman named Eddie Lawrence to kill her. Aisha, this is one of those stories. I've been in Atlanta combined, about 36 years. This is one of those top maybe 5 or 6 stories all time as far as attention and as far as people really being, captivated by it.
And tonight, Jeff, we have learned that Fred Tokars, who was serving multiple life sentences, died this past weekend in federal prison, but his own attorney tells John Sherrick that Tokars, while in prison, helped save the lives of many innocent people.
Thanksgiving weekend in 1992, Sarah Tokars and her 2 young sons kidnapped from their Cobb County home, the kidnapper forcing her to drive her SUV down the street, and that's where he shot her in the head in front of her sons. Police eventually charged Sarah's husband, Fred Tokars, with hiring the hitman. Tokars always proclaiming innocence.
I emphatically deny any involvement in my wife's murder. I became very depressed. I started to think of the lifestyle that I was losing. Not only my wife, but my whole lifestyle.
Tokars was convicted in both federal court and state court, sentenced to multiple life sentences. Prosecutors saying he had Sarah killed because she had discovered he was using his law practice for drug dealing and money laundering, and he was afraid she would turn him in.
You know, he said he didn't do it.
Tokars attorney Jerry Froelich of Atlanta says he just learned that Tokars, who was in poor health, died in a federal prison in Pennsylvania over the weekend. Froelich says that while Tokars was in prison, he would get fellow inmates to confide in him about murders and murder plots, and then Tokars would turn them in and testify against them one after another.
What he did for the government, I mean, he solved murders, he saved lives.
Using his law skills in the final years of his life, Froelich says, for good.
But I was really, and have been angry, that they didn't reduce his sentence after he put his life and he solved those things.
Fred Tokars, dying in prison more than 27 years after Sarah was killed, to the end, never admitting guilt.
Another major national story we are following here at home tonight. New developments into the killing of a young black man in Brunswick, Georgia. Ahmaud Arbery was just 25 years old when he died. He was out for a jog during the day of February 23rd when investigators say he was followed, shot and killed by Gregory and Travis McMichael, a father and son. The McMichaels were not arrested until last week, nearly 3 months after Arbery's death. Only after video of the confrontation went public and the GBI was brought onto the case. Now, both suspects are charged with murder. Documents 11Alive received today show Gregory McMichael, who worked for more than 2 decades as an investigator with the Brunswick District Attorney's Office, but for several years did not have the proper certification to be an officer. Joe Henke explains.
In Gregory McMichael's personnel file from the Brunswick County DA's office is a memo from 2014 detailing McMichael letting the DA know he received a notification from Georgia Post, the state organization that oversees certifications of police officers in Georgia. The memo mentions McMichael saying he learned he fell behind on his training hours and did not have the power to make arrests since 2006, more than an 8-year period. In a letter detailing why he fell behind on training hours to be a certified officer, McMichael points to a heart attack, the following recovery, a later colon surgery, a second heart attack, and having to declare bankruptcy due to mounting medical bills. A letter to the DA mentions Post director saying liability for improper actions by McMichael would fall on Greg, the district attorney's office, and district attorney Jackie Johnson personally. Johnson addressed a letter to Post, thanking Post for helping McMichael later receive a waiver so he could continue to serve as an investigator and regain proper certification. She said, "It has negatively impacted my office, and I've taken measures to ensure that this does not happen again." McMichael would remain with the DA's office as a chief investigator until February of 2019, when he again failed to maintain his certification, and he was reassigned to a non-officer position with the DA ahead of his retirement in June of 2019. And we contacted the Brunswick District Attorney's office today and asked the DA if she had any statement about McMichael falling behind on his certification training and also whether he made any arrests during that time period where he lacked the power to make arrests. So far, we have not received a response.
The Glynn County Police Department, the department that responded to the Arbery shooting, was once described by a grand jury as having a, quote, ongoing culture of cover-up. Reveal investigator Faith Abube has been on top of the story, and tonight she uncovers years of troubling details about the agency and its officers.
The case has put the troubled police department in the spotlight. The Reveal has uncovered an internal investigation report, grand jury findings, and lawsuits against the department alleging corruption, a culture of cover-up, and abuse of power. The documents also allege false statements, tampering with evidence, influencing or intimidating witnesses, hindering arrest of one of their own, and destroying or not properly maintaining public records.
This is a department that is not necessarily following the rules and is kind of made up of a lot of rogue actors.
Darren Penn is an Atlanta attorney representing a woman suing the Glynn County Police Department for allegedly mishandling her daughter's domestic violence case. That daughter was married to a police officer in the same department.
They're going through a divorce.
He is not allowed in my house. This is not his house.
Mr. Corey Sasser, an incredibly violent and out of control police officer for the Glynn County Police Department.
The former Glynn County police officer killed his estranged wife and another man before turning the gun on himself in 2018. Penn says the officer's wife complained to the department repeatedly. but they failed to arrest the officer when it mattered, and he thinks that parallels what's happened in the Arbery case.
Just the overall hesitancy to do anything about it, to investigate them, to make any kind of arrests, to actually, at the end of the day, protect the public.
5 days after the Ahmaud Arbery shooting, the Glynn County police chief, 3 high-ranking police officers were all indicted on multiple criminal charges. One of the charges, having sex with confidential informants. We're going to have much more on Faith's investigation tonight at 11 on Up Late on 11 Alive.
We're continuing to track COVID-19 here in our state. As of 7 p.m. tonight, there are more than 35,000 confirmed cases. Just over 1,500 people have died so far. Globally, the United States continues to be a hotbed. Right now, there are more than 1,300,000 confirmed cases in the United States. The next closest country, Russia, with a little over 250,000. As Georgia continues fighting the spread of COVID-19, temporary medical pods are being set up across the state. Today, Governor Kemp toured the latest one in the Floyd Medical Center in Rome. It can house 20 critical coronavirus patients. Another temporary unit set up in the parking deck has 100 beds. The governor praising the forward thinking of the state's healthcare community.
You're seeing innovation, quite honestly, at its best in our state. So I think this is going to be a great asset for our state, and we're certainly proud to have them today. And I hope we don't have any patients that have to go in them.
The governor says these units will help beyond the pandemic, such as during severe weather. 3 other medical pods already set up in Atlanta, as well as Gainesville, Albany, both hit hard by the virus. Governor Kemp encouraging everyone to use a COVID-19 testing app developed by Augusta University. The app, free to download, puts you face-to-face virtually with a healthcare professional in just minutes. Ryan Kruger used it for himself tonight.
Let's start off, go to the App Store. You can easily find the Augusta University Health Express Care app wherever you download apps for your smartphone. After filling out a few personal medical questions, you'll be able to video chat with a healthcare professional in just a couple minutes. Really just kind of wanted to get some advice on if we should think about doing testing. Since no one in my family is showing any symptoms, we were told we don't need to get tested. However, if we wanted to, the next step would be to put us in touch with the dozens of testing sites all around the area. These aren't the antibody tests to show if you've been exposed to COVID-19, only to show if you currently have it. And would they do that for people like me who don't have symptoms? Healthcare experts now say there are enough tests that even people without symptoms can be tested in Georgia. However, it's not recommended. All in all, it took less than 5 minutes to use the app and get expert advice, free for everyone.
You do not have to have any insurance information. No payment is required. It's a free virtual screening.
Atlanta's media mogul Tyler Perry is the first to set a date for restarting production. We're going to tell you when next.
And that cooler air is moving back to the north where it belongs, and we're going to see a big warm up as we head into the next few days and into the weekend. So coming up, when we'll likely see the warmest day of the year so far.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information,
the television and film industry was one of the first to shut down during the pandemic, but as Georgia gradually reopens, plans are lined up to getting Georgia productions back up and running. Natisha Lance joins us from Tyler Perry Studios. When will it be safe to start rolling cameras again, Natisha? Any sense of that?
Well, according to Tyler Perry, Jeff, come July, Tyler Perry Studios right behind me here will be back up and running. They're set to ramp up production on 2 of their hit shows, but in order to do this, Perry carefully planned how he'd be able to help ensure the safety of all cast and crew. Across the country, more than 900,000 people who work in film and television are waiting for the show to go on. The wait is just about over for actors in 2 Tyler Perry BET series, Sistas and The Oval. Actors learned the news from a social distance.
He did a Zoom call with all of the stars, the series regulars.
Brian Jordan Jr., who plays Maurice on Sistas, is ready to get back on set in July. By then, production on the show will have been delayed for months because of the pandemic. In April, Perry outlined some plans for how to safely restart production.
It's a fully fleshed out plan, and so that made me feel comfortable and confident in coming back, and also excited.
Cast and crew will be quarantined at the more than 300-acre studio compound throughout production. The homes that look like set pieces are fully functional. Actors will be housed in them during 2.5 weeks of filming.
And there are restaurants there and apparently bars.
Everyone will also be tested for COVID-19 4 times. Before traveling to film, before coming onto the property, another test 4 days into filming, and once again before leaving at the end of filming.
This plan that he's mapped out so brilliantly is something that will be transcendent upon Hollywood and all other production studios.
You know, Tyler Perry really is a trailblazer in all of this. So productions in Los Angeles are not set to reopen until the 3rd phase of their recovery with modifications, and that is still several weeks away. And then in New York, it's going to be even longer because that state rather, is not set to come off of lockdown until at least Friday. Aisha?
All right, thanks, Natisha. Slow, steady, and safe. Well, can you picture Mickey Mouse with the face mask? You may see that soon. Disney CEO says face coverings will likely be required for all visitors and workers at their park once they do reopen. Preparations are already underway to open parts of Disney Springs in Orlando to guests next week. There will be limitations on capacity, parking, and operating hours. The cast and guests would likely wear masks. Disney CEO acknowledged that it may be culturally different for U.S. guests and a bit trying when it gets all hot and humid outside, but he is encouraged by their experience in Shanghai that this is the best route to reopen.
Well, your 11Alive storm trackers tracking those warm temperatures, and they warmed up even more today. We made it up to 80 degrees, and Bill Honea in Marietta County had his drone out taking this incredible picture of another fabulous sunset. And it helps to have a few clouds around. It tends to bend the light rays and make for better color. And we were able to see the sunset under very mild conditions, temperatures making it up in the upper 70s throughout the afternoon and evening, and we peaked right at 80 degrees right after 5 o'clock this afternoon. So 80 was our high after a morning low of 56, and we should be around 79 and 60 this time of year. So we were pretty close to the mark when all was said and done. Temperatures starting to cool a little bit. We're at 60 in Blairsville, 64 in Canton, but we're still close to 70 in Atlanta. We're right at 69 degrees right now. So those temperatures won't go down much tonight. They're going to be in the 60s pretty much all night long. And then as we head into tomorrow, we'll see a mixture of sunshine and clouds, and temperatures getting into the low 80s once we get into those afternoon hours. So it is going to be a great day for the flyby that's going to be taking place in northwest Georgia tomorrow evening. We'll have partly sunny skies. We're going to see those temperatures continue to warm for the rest of the week and into the weekend, and then over this coming weekend, we're going to have to keep our eye on the tropics because it looks like we could end up seeing our first named system of the season. Will it be a tropical storm? Will it be a subtropical storm? Too early to say, but we have a frontal system that brought in our cool air that's kind of pulled up stationary across South Florida, and we're going to see an area of low pressure continue to deepen there the next couple of days. So by Friday, we could be looking at a circulation forming here and into Saturday as well, and then kind of scooting right up parallel to the coastline. So any plans to go to the coast here in Florida or Georgia or the Carolinas, we'll probably see some pretty big waves and also a pretty rich rip current as well. And then this will continue to parallel the coast, most likely heading out into the open waters or towards Bermuda as we head into the beginning of next week. So this is the development area as that low continues to deepen here just southwest of the southern tip of Florida and starts to strengthen just east of the Florida coastline. So that's why we're expecting some big waves. The National Hurricane Center giving us a 10% chance to develop the next 2 days, but as we head into the weekend, a 70% chance. And if we do get a named storm, it will be named Arthur. That is the first name on the list for 2020. So here is a look at your 7-day forecast. It's going to be warming up nicely as we head into the next few days, getting into the upper 80s on our Saturday and our Sunday. I think we're going to be mostly dry. Well, we're definitely going to be through Friday, and then over the weekend, just itty-bitty chances of showers to our north and possibly late on Sunday. So a mostly dry weekend, a very warm weekend, and a better chance for showers and storms as we head into next week. So we'll be watching for that. Here is your weather wow moment. It comes from our 11Alive storm tracker Lisa Hodges at Cochranwell Park. That's near Chattahoochee Hills. And boy, what a beautiful day it was out there. She just wanted to get some fresh air and take in these beautiful little water features there at the park. If you'd like to be an 11Alive storm tracker, we would love to have you. Go to our 11Alive storm tracker Facebook page and sign up, and we'll approve you, and hopefully we'll see your work right here on 11Alive.
With people at home, grocery bills piling up, the food getting more expensive. Next, a look at what's behind those soaring prices.
The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today. Americans are spending more money than they have in decades just to put food on the table. For some products, the monthly increases were the largest ever recorded. NBC's Sam Brock shows us what's behind the spike and what foods are most impacted.
These days, many families across the country are experiencing serious sticker shock at the grocery store. When stay-at-home orders went into effect in March, supermarket sales shot up 83%, and apparently food prices climbed too.
The meat, the deli, the ham, the cheese, even the bread is costing more now.
How much more money are you spending on groceries now than you were before this started?
More money than before. Way more, yes.
An across-the-board bump that's actually setting records. The last time food prices jumped this much from one month to the next was way back in 1974, almost a half-century ago. Federal figures reveal at least a 1.5% price increase in all food groups in April, with meats, poultry, fish, and eggs leading the way. The cost of eggs alone skyrocketed 16%.
What do you see as the driving causes?
We are, of course, right now in a national emergency. And we have experienced unprecedented demand in food products.
Leslie Saracen with the Food Industry Association says food providers are doing their best to meet rising demands with reduced production.
Some of our plants have had to close temporarily. Some of our plants have had to minimize the number of people that are working in them.
Nowhere has this been more evident than in meat processing plants, where the coronavirus has spread viciously. Adding to the problem, restaurants have a glut of extra food, while grocery stores are still trying to fill their shelves.
We can see commercial fishermen and farmers now redistributing their food from restaurants to groceries, even direct to consumer. But it doesn't happen overnight.
You got the schedule?
Yeah.
And with kids at home with virtual school, grocery bills are already up for many households.
We're cooking more, we're more in the house. And they ask for a lot of like snacks and give me this, juice, mommy, apple, this and that.
Families paying a steep price to feed their loved ones during this pandemic.
Jeff, I have never been to the grocery store and cooked so much in my life, and I am sick of it.
I am too. You know, I'm getting a little plump, so I need to stop those trips to the grocery store.
Got the quarantine 15. On that note, I'm going to walk on off of this set and get ready to come back for Up Late at 11.
Yeah, I don't need any more Pringles and red wine. I need to take a break, right?
Sounds good.
All right, Aisha, thanks. We'll see you at 11 o'clock on 11Alive. Coming up on the Big 36, businesses opening in Georgia, highlighting a decision that's harder for some than others. A new study shows the inequality of returning to work.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day.
Hair salons, gyms, shopping malls, now even day camps, starting to reopen again in our state. But many of these steps to return to more normal are forcing some workers to make some tough choices. Here's NBC's Craig Melvin with an Atlanta twist.
Reopening America doesn't come without risks. Dr. Anthony Fauci giving Congress this blunt assessment Tuesday.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control, not only leading to some suffering and death that could be avoided, but could even set you back on the road to trying to get economic recovery.
Restaurants, retail stores, and salons all struggling with social distancing. Inga Bailey, who owns a salon in Dunwoody, Georgia, says clients were eager for her to reopen.
When the governor went on to the news to make the announcement, within 15 minutes, I had about 10 text messages.
Bailey is seeing one client at a time and disinfecting everything between appointments. But for each appointment, staying 6 feet apart is nearly impossible. A recent study found that workers whose jobs don't allow for distancing are more likely to be lower paid, less likely to have a college degree, and more likely to be non-white.
As parts of the country start to reopen, why is it that certain communities are more at risk than others?
Some communities, Black and Brown in particular, are more susceptible to having preconditions. We also know that those same communities lack public health infrastructure, places where people can actually go and receive treatment.
Najah Aziz owns a salon in Atlanta.
80% of the people hospitalized in the state of Georgia were African Americans. And it's very difficult being a Black business owner, worrying about, the age of our clients, the middle age.
They're spacing out clients, even taking appointments on the front porch. She's trying to take every precaution.
I'm giving my employees a little leeway to, let them come when they're ready. I'm not demanding anything.
Her employees say they're happy to be working again, but still have concerns.
If you have the means to not work until you have a vaccine, by all means do that. But there's some people that absolutely need to make money to provide for their families.
If your employer says it's time to come back and you don't feel safe enough to do that, well, you really don't have an option, because depending on where you live, you risk losing unemployment benefits. And without those, how are you going to support your family?
And Mitchell Lovelace is piecing together a living by selling homemade masks door to door. He and his wife used their last bit of savings to buy a sewing machine.
I'll take the 4 blue ones and then...
After the restaurant where they worked as servers shut its dining room down.
I don't want to live in fear, and I definitely don't want this to continue anymore, so I want to get back to work. I think most of America does as well.
Beale Street, usually packed with people this time of year. Mitchell is hopeful they will return in time.
If my wife didn't know how to sew, I don't know what we would have done, to be honest.
patchwork of solutions with an economy in tatters.
Not only does the inequality apply to jobs, African Americans also disproportionately impacted by the virus itself. In Georgia, African Americans have the highest number of cases, even though they account for about 32% of the population. That is according to census data. 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks, and you are asking us to help you understand where we stand with the cases. So here we go. Let's start with the state as a whole. Each bar along the bottom of this graph represents a single day. The ones in orange are since we started reopening in Georgia. The dotted line shows the 7-day average. You can see overall in the orange zone, we're staying pretty flat, not improving, but not getting worse either. Now let's take a closer look at a couple of counties. The last couple of weeks we have been talking about a hotspot in Hall County, Gainesville, and some positive news. You can see by the bars and dotted line in the orange zone that the cases are now declining. This comes after the state stepped up efforts there. Overall, Hall County reported 176 new cases in the past week. Cobb County has reported more new cases than any other county in the past week at 322, but it's not a reason to panic. Overall, the dotted line shows the 7-day average evening out in the orange zone. So again, the situation not dire, not getting any worse, but then again, the flip side is it's not improving much either. So Cobb County cases now are going up as we'll take a look at other metro Atlanta counties, certainly in the days ahead. Tonight, a family celebrating an 82-year-old woman's incredible recovery from the virus. The family originally told she was being moved to hospice care and they would have to say goodbye, that she was near death. Instead, she shocked them all with her resilience. She is still with us. Here's Caitlin Ross sharing her amazing story.
Amazing grace. Phyllis Shepard still knows all the words.
Mama, there's a lot of things she may not remember, but she still remembers how to play the piano. She still remembers songs.
Phyllis has lived at Brightmoor Nursing Home in Griffin for a year with dementia, but it doesn't stop her husband and 5 boys from visiting and singing every day.
Humor and the Lord, that carries us through everything.
If Phyllis can crack a joke, she's feeling all right.
How do you feel?
I feel all right until I see y'all.
But a few weeks ago, the laughs stopped coming when Phyllis fell incredibly ill with COVID-19. The doctors and nurses who care for her didn't think she could pull through.
Told us that they wanted her in hospice, and they said you might want to come see her the next day. And so we all came the next day expecting the worst, and when we got here, she was alert, talking to us.
Her family says her recovery is nothing short of miraculous.
That's how she looked about 2 weeks ago
in the hospital.
And you see how she looks today.
The staff at Brightmoor says she always looks radiant, but she lights up when her 94-year-old husband, Harold, comes to her window.
It was an answer to prayer. Definitely an answer to prayer.
Her family doesn't know what's next for Phyllis, but today she can smile and she can sing.
Was blind, but now I see.
She's now completely recovered from COVID-19, and she's not the only one. Coming up at 6, we'll show you how the nursing home put on a parade for all 55 of their residents who have recovered.
Caitlin, it really is so amazing. I know they're encouraged by how well she's doing, but these facilities are at such a high risk. What are they doing to keep everybody safe?
They are being incredibly careful. They know they're serving an at-risk population, and it's been all hands on deck there 24 hours a day. In the beginning of this, they were facing a PPE shortage, so they actually paid $8 per resident to make sure every resident had an N95 mask. That's how seriously they're taking this.
Caitlin, thanks a lot.
More than 14,000 people have volunteered to be injected with a small amount of coronavirus. It's called a human challenge trial, and it could offer a way to speed up the fight against coronavirus. But some argue there are ethical issues that need to be considered. Jennifer Bellamy explains.
For many, a coronavirus vaccine is the key to getting back to normal life. Under usual circumstances, the path to a viable vaccine can take months or years. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, some have begun pushing for human challenge trials to speed up the process. These types of trials would involve intentionally infecting participants with a mild or medium strength version of virus, possibly man-made to test vaccines. Supporters say it could lead researchers to develop a vaccine months faster, saving thousands of lives. More than 14,000 willing participants have created an advocacy group to see it happen, and 35 bipartisan members of Congress have asked regulators to consider the human challenge trials. But critics point to factors like hospital space and protective equipment, volunteers wanting to leave the study, and the historic perception of these trials, with experiments on captive or disabled populations without consent. While participants would have to give consent, critics also point out there's no widespread agreement on virus treatments, mortality rates, and long-term effects of the virus. The Food and Drug Administration has never allowed a human challenge trial for a new disease without a cure. The FDA said in a statement it could expedite vaccine development, but also raises potential scientific and ethical issues. The administration said it would work with those interested to evaluate those issues.
Right now, there are no plans for a human challenge trial right now in the United States, but efforts also have started in London and Switzerland to make it happen. The WHO has also released information on how it might be ethically acceptable to do so. Any final decision in the United States would mostly fall to the FDA. A man is in custody tonight after police say he held a woman at knife point and stole her car after she gave him a ride. Tracy Amick-Pierce spoke with the victim today.
It was so scary. It was like a horror movie, to be honest with you.
Carolina Vargas says she gave Christopher Miller a ride last Tuesday through the Uber app, then agreed to go back and give him another ride without using the app since he seemed safe. She says she picked him up in Cleveland, Tennessee, and was supposed to head to Nashville, around 163 miles one way. But when they got on the road, she says he suggested another route.
He said he's a truck driver. I said, well, yeah, I did see the traffic. And he's saying to avoid the traffic, he was going to take me a different route. So I said, okay, yeah.
She says that route took them on back roads into Georgia. And when they reached Cohutta, things took a turn for the worse.
When he pulled a knife out and he put it on my rib.
She says at first she was in shock.
I was begging him for my life. I couldn't believe what was happening.
She decided to act.
And in that second, that's when I jumped out of the car.
She knocked 3 teeth out in the fall and hurt her foot and legs. Police later tracked down Miller and arrested him in Jacksonville. He is facing charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment.
His cell phone to find him in Florida. Miller's now being held as a fugitive from justice. He will face those 3 felony charges once he is back in Georgia. When a COVID-19 vaccine becomes available, will you be required to get it? A Claim Online says Congress is considering the idea. We verify coming up next.
Well, we saw an increase in the cloud cover today, but by sunset, things were looking pretty good here with just a few high clouds out there, making for an interesting night. So coming up, what you can expect on Thursday for the big flyby on Thursday evening and how things are going to shape up for your weekend.
Touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
A claim floating around online says Congress introduced a bill that would legally require people to get a COVID-19 vaccine. You sent it to us and we had our Verify team break it down. Here is Jason Puckett.
A few of you sent us this post. It claims Congress introduced Bill H.R. 6666, which gives $100 billion to schools, churches, and medical buildings, with a catch. To receive the money, they have to agree to, quote, only allow people in their facilities that have the COVID-19 vaccination are tested and tracked. To start, H.R. 6666 is a real bill. Congress.gov shows that it was introduced to the House of Representatives on May 1st. So far, there have been no actions on it. So it is real, but we're verifying, does H.R. 6666 require people to get vaccinated for COVID-19? Our main source is the bill itself. H.R. 6666 is only 5 pages long. If passed, it would let the Secretary of Health and Human Services award grants to help with COVID-19 testing. Eligible groups include health centers, school health clinics, nonprofits, high schools, and more. The bill would set aside $100 billion for this purpose. So there's a nugget of truth in this claim. H.R. 6666 would have $100 billion to help these groups. But the link to vaccines is seemingly made up. There's not a single mention of vaccines in the text, period. The only requirements in the bill are that groups use the money for training, hiring, or purchasing medical equipment. That means we can verify the claim that H.R. 6666 would require people get vaccinated against COVID-19 is false. If you've got other claims for us to look into, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Our 11Alive storm trackers have been posting some amazing sunset pictures lately, like this one from Marietta County. Bill Honea posting a couple of pictures tonight of the brilliant colors in the skies at sunset. And of course, when you have clouds around, it tends to bend the rays and make things more colorful as the sun goes down over the horizon. And then, Pam Dowdy posting this picture of a daddy bluebird feeding his baby, just the cutest. She wins the award for the cuteness factor, I think, today. Thank you, Pam, for posting that. And there have been so many birds around. I think we've just been out walking around, too, seeing more of these little critters. But temperatures are on the mild side tonight, and they'll continue to stay in the 60s overnight. Well, 64 right now in Canton, 67 in Marietta, and we're still at 69 in Duluth, and in Atlanta, 68 in Thomaston. And we're looking at temperatures that are running anywhere from 2 to around 10 degrees above where we were at this time yesterday. Dalton's 11 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. So it's going to be nice and mild out there. A 9 on your wasometer for your Thursday on that scale of 1 to an 11. With an 11 being perfect, it's going to be pretty darn perfect, but we will have some clouds from time to time, and temperatures will be a little on the warm side, slightly on the warm side. So your UV index is a bit of a concern on Thursday. It's going to be up a bit. We'll have fewer clouds during the day, and that means a 9 on your UV index. You can burn in about 15 to 20 minutes, so you need to be protected, your eyes, your skin with sunscreen, a hat, sunglasses, and you're definitely going to want sunglasses as you head out to watch the C-130s fly over. It's going to be before sunset at 6 o'clock, a couple hours before sunset, in fact. So the sun will be nice and bright. The winds will be out of the southwest. We'll have a few clouds out there. Temperatures will be comfortable in the upper 70s. And, of course, it's going to be above northwest Georgia starting at 6 o'clock. So a few showers tried to make their way in today. Didn't have much luck. We had that ridge of high pressure holding strong, and that kept us nice and warm, and it kept the showers from making any progress here. And the frontal system that moved through earlier in the week that brought in the cool temperatures, it is right down here off the southern tip of Florida, and we're seeing some development along that frontal boundary, and the National Hurricane Center now giving that area of low pressure a 70% chance of developing into either a tropical system or a subtropical system as we head towards Friday, Saturday, and then into Sunday. So a 70% chance that it can develop right off of the Florida coastline. So we're going to have to watch for that, as it looks like it's going to be pretty likely paralleling the coast and bringing in some big waves to the Florida, Georgia, and Carolina beaches over the course of the weekend, and strengthening their rip current as well. So we're going to see partly sunny skies. We'll be in the 80s the rest of the week. In fact, upper 80s for your weekend, and then we're going to have to keep our eye on the tropics over the weekend, so check back in with us. And if you are headed to the coast, just keep in mind those waves will be a lot higher than they would be normally this time of year, because hurricane season doesn't start to June 1st, and now we could have a system that starts a little ahead of schedule, as they have since 2016. Every year they've started ahead of schedule. So we're looking at clouds around mixed with sunshine, temperatures warming up rapidly into the upper 80s. Looks like Sunday will be the warmest day of the year so far, and we're looking for about a 40% chance of showers and storms on Monday.
All right, here we go. We're in the sports mood now, Wednesday night, with the prospect of Major League Soccer returning as soon as June. According to multiple reports, more players are returning to Atlanta United's facility for individual workouts. Today, the club provided drone footage to provide a closer look at the players' training and how they are being socially distant and safe. Young defender Miles Robinson returned today, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson. He gave his thoughts on how he and his teammates are doing.
It's nice to be back on the training ground, get touches on the ball, definitely working on technical ability in all types of ways. It's definitely important to stay safe, stay as safe as possible, because, everyone's life is important, and we have to do what we can to stay as safe as possible during this time.
Speaking great truth tonight. Many dog fans know baseball coach Scott Strickland and his managing skills, but what they may not realize is his connection to one of the biggest basketball icons in sport, the great, the unequaled Michael Jordan. Alex Glaze tells us how Strickland has focused back to his time with Jordan on the diamond.
Scott Strickland spent 5 years as a catcher in the minor leagues. In 1994, Strickland was a catcher for the Minnesota Twins AA affiliate, and one game, Michael Jordan stepped up to the plate.
I definitely was like, oh my gosh, that's Michael Jordan right there. And
Strickland didn't let the moment pass without talking to the basketball legend.
Was pretty happy with it. Our home crowd cheered for him when they announced him, and I made just some wisecrack of, man, they don't cheer like that when they announce my name, and he actually chuckled a little bit.
Now, a lot of talk about Jordan's time in baseball is negative, but if you really think about it, it was incredible. Baseball is one of the hardest sports to just pick up, and Jordan was playing AA ball after spending 13 years away from the game.
He had a pretty good year. Hit 202. I think he had 53 RBIs, stole 30 bases. He had a pretty darn good year. And again, didn't play for 13 years and then went into AA and did just fine. If he would have been playing out of high school, if he had been drafted out of high school, I think that's a Major League Baseball player.
That's a good story. I like that story. That's a fun story. Yesterday, Governor Kemp announced guidelines for opening camps this summer with restrictions, and we wondered how this may affect high school football as teams get ready for the summer. GHSA Director Robin Hines, Dr. Robin Hines, told us that no decisions on summer football camps have been made. However, they are targeting June as a possible time to restart activities such as football workouts. Dr. Hines said he will take information from all levels of government into consideration when they feel it is safe to implement new rules to still protect athletes from the virus. The board will make a decision virtually. In April, the governor closed schools until the end of this school year. That's it for sports. It's great just seeing some football action, isn't it? Even old file from last fall. I don't even remember when it was. All right, we'll take a break. We're back right after this.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
All right. If you have anything you want to send to us, certainly, as you want to share some of the information about what's going on in your neighborhood, do so. Send a love at ATL. All right, let's go to Marietta, where the local police department helped a member of the community celebrate a special occasion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emmanuel. Happy birthday to you. 102 years old today.
That is a lovely story. 102. He's standing up and taking visitors. How about that? Our viewers could not get enough of that story. Me either. We posted it on the 11Alive Facebook page. Emmanuel Wilson, Air Force veteran, turned 102, and the Marietta Police Department serenaded him, and we want to send him great birthday wishes as well. He served in World War II. How about 102 years old, still getting up, still raising Cain, so to speak. That's it for us. Thanks for watching tonight. Switch to 11Alive now for the news at 11. For the team, I'm Jeff Hullinger. We will see you here tomorrow night.
Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
A Georgia Police Department at the center of the Ahmaud Arbery shooting found to have a culture of cover-up. An 11Alive investigation uncovers years of troubling details. The man convicted of hiring a hitman to gun down his wife dies in prison tonight. How Tokars' lawyer says he actually saved lives from behind bars. Plus,